Hello, welcome back. This will be part one of the series. This will all be about preparation, cleaning methods, and how to get ready for the rebuild. What I like to do, there's three sections. Here's your main bell housing. Okay, this is where the valve body goes. Make sure this is extremely clean and dry. You'll need to take a blowgun and blow out every passage here. Make sure there's no water anywhere. Okay? You also need some kind of oil. I like ATF. You just squirt these in here. Get them lubed up. Okay? Now we're preparing the bearings. Now our other bearing's going to ride in here. Prepare this with a light film of oil. And also this bearing, which I'll show you on the other side, is your main input bearing. Also oil that. I cleaned the case in a parts washer, and this particular one I painted. I used a primer, and then I used an engine enamel paint. I like to clean this surface off with the grinder, buffing wheel, a little bit here and a little bit here. Before we start the rebuild, you need to replace your front seal, your axle seal, and your shift shaft seal. Okay? So this one is prepared, ready to go in and start rebuilding. I'm going to move on to the other section. Move this to the side. Here's our end cover. There are some O-rings in here. They don't typically go bad. So you can check them with a blowgun. And there's also a seal right here. So this piece also was painted. And we'll see that later. And for our main case half also was painted. Let's see our label, BAXA. Inside. And here's our other two dowel pins that we were looking for earlier. Go ahead and oil this as well. This is where another bearing needs to be installed. Okay. And a couple little journals here for your tubes. It makes assembly a whole lot easier if they're lightly lubed. And same with these bearings. Let's put a film of oil. Okay. This one got a little bit of paint on it. I don't normally paint these, but for the purpose of this video and for appearance, that's why it's painted. I don't recommend painting it. I feel like that extra small layer of paint acts as a heat barrier, and these don't cool quite as well. So I don't prefer paint. I prefer them not to be painted. If I had the time, or sandblaster or something, the best way would be to polish the case and maybe put a clear paint on it. But I don't like the look of paint, really, or the function of it. So we've got all our areas lightly lubed, and all of our main cases are ready to be rebuilt. So what I typically do, start with this piece, flip it over, and we'll get our seals in. Okay? Actually, no, this is going to be part one of the series, and we'll come back for the next video, and we'll show this preparation and stacking the valve body section. That'll be part two. Okay, thanks for watching. Actually, while I got you, let's go over some of the things you'll probably need. You'll need some type of transmission oil. This is called Assembly Goo by Lube Guard. It is has a really low melting point, so once you start running transmission fluid through, it kind of melts and works itself into the transmission fluid. Sometimes, if you want to reuse a gasket, you can use this anaerobic sealer made by Loctite. It only seals in the absence of air. I'll show you also a couple of the cleaning methods. This is all my cleaned up parts, and how I cleaned them was through parts washer with mineral spirits. There's a tank here. You can use a brush. You've got your nozzle, Scotch-Brite, and then after they are washed, use a blowgun, blow them off with compressed air, and keep them nicely organized, exactly how we removed them. The other way, I usually use this machine to clean the case halves from heavy grease buildup, and it is water-based, a liquid-based jet spraying machine. All these jets all throughout, and it heats up the water to about 150 degrees or so with a soapy solution. And as soon as the parts are cleaned, you need to dry them off with compressed air, or they will rust in a matter of hours. Okay, so that's called a automatic parts washer, and colloquially in the industry we call it the cooker. So if you're in a transmission shop and someone says the cooker, that's what the cooker is. That's your parts washer. Also, for some smaller parts, a brake cleaner is the number one efficient, easy way, but it does get pretty expensive pretty fast if you don't keep an eye on how much you use. And this was the Teardown Bench. We'll go over in later videos the shafts and drums, old seals that all need to match up to replace, and this is the rebuilder bench. I try to keep it clean and only have assembly on this. There's not a bunch of crap and dirt all over. Okay, well, stay tuned and we'll get the rest of the rebuild on the next video. Thank you for watching.